Welcome back to Emilee's Paper Caper and another Stampin' Sunday. Stampin' Sunday is an open collaboration hosted by Thelma Hall and Paula from Craftin' by the Pond. We're sharing stamps and stamping tips and just anything with stamping. So this week I have been stamping off some of my Christmas stamps, and I want to share them with you. And if you keep watching to the end of the video, I will show you how I store these stamps and a couple of tips on that. So I've stamped on an old phone book. The give of that phone book really helps me get nice clean images. Most of these images were first try, and it just really works well for me. I'm also really pleased with the crisp images I get with VersaFine pigment ink. This is available on Amazon, and I will link to it down in the description in case you want to check it out. I am an Amazon associate and receive a commission for qualifying purchases through that link, but I only recommend things that I truly love using myself. Let's look at the stamps I used, and I can kind of tell you what I plan to do with these stamped images as I share them. So this I got in a D-stash from Crafty Bean, and it is a 1997 Hampton Art stamps, and it is a wonderful group of carolers. It will be so much fun to color. There are bears and bunnies here, and they're singing Christmas carols. So I stamped 2 of these images here. This next week I plan to start coloring these images, and I'll show them to you next week. All these images I've stamped with the idea that I will use them in my December daily or December documented. Next week I'll show you what that looks like as well. This image I got recently at the thrift store. It was half off, so only 25 cents. I just love him. This says it's an LRL design. Large Joyful Snowman. I was very pleased with how he stamped, and he's going to be a lot of fun to color. There was one area of the stamp up on his hat that didn't like to stamp out, but I don't really mind that. I think it's fine, and I can either draw it in, or when I get the color added, I don't think we'll notice that slight flaw in the stamp. I did a third one of him, and I think what I'll do is, like, one image I will put in my December documented junk journal, and the other image I'll keep and make a Christmas card out of. So for the snowman stamp, I loved this image so much, I decided to stamp him 3 times so that I would have, you know, a couple of images, one for the junk journal, December daily, and a couple for Christmas cards. On this page I also stamped some Christmas trees. This is a 2003 Stampin' Up! Image. I think it would make a nice border on a page. I love those triangles and the way they are made into beautiful trees with some doodling on them. This image is a dots stamp. Don't really recall when or where I got it, but I love him. I think he's a nutcracker, and I stamped several of these because I think he's going to be really fun to color, and I think I can position several of them together as if they were kind of a standing guard or something, but he's going to be fun to color. Here's a beautiful stamp that I got. Honestly, I don't remember where I got it, but I have always loved her, and I really have not stamped with her much. She is a limited edition 1997 Winter Fairy Dancing Doll, and there's no company or anything on here. But I really like her because what you do is you fussy cut her out and fussy cut her arms, and then you can put a little brad, and she has posable arms. So I thought she would be beautiful for the December daily, December documented junk journal. And then I wanted to do one more with her because I think she'll be wonderful for a Christmas card. On this page, I did a bunch of the Christmas stockings. There's no information on this stamp. It's definitely a Stampin' Up, but I don't know what year or what collection it came from. This was just a random stamp that I got, no idea, a garage sale or something at some time, or it might have been in a D-stash from Crafty Bean. Yeah, that's where I got this, a D-stash. And Christmas stockings are wonderful to decorate pages with, so I stamped a bunch of those off, thinking that I could have a lot of fun coloring them in Christmas colors, but also I may do some in non-traditional Christmas colors. I think that'll be really, really fun. Also on this page is this skiing snow bear. This is another LRL Designs, and it says Berry Wonderful Winter. This is one that I got from a Crafty Bean D-stash for sure. It is a Printworks stamp. It says limited edition 1997. I don't know anything else about this, but I really love the image. It could be Christmas if you color it with Christmas colors, but it's also winter. I would say that's the same for this skiing snow bear. They could be Christmas or winter themed type of things. So I'm going to have fun coloring those images. Then on this page, this is one of the thrifted stamps I got recently. It says 2006 Stampin' Up. It's the cutest little gingerbread. And I went ahead and did him in black ink, but I decided he might look better in brown. So the only image that I stamped in a different color besides the VersaFine is him, and I tried him in Stampin' Up chocolate chip. And I think he'll be fun to fussy cut and use on pages. Then this little soldier here, isn't he adorable? This is a Craft Smart stamp, probably from Michael's. It says made in China. And I just think he's adorable, and what a character. I stamped off several of the little house mouses. This is Having a Ball. It's Mud Pie, and this is a Stampabilities. I'm a big fan of house mouse stamps, and I like this one where he's peeking out of the little ornament. So this will be a lot of fun to include in the December daily. And we have our gingerbread. This is a 1999 penny black stamp. It says Gingerbread Joy. I really love how that looks. This image here, I think I got on Facebook Marketplace a year or two ago. It looks like it says 1991 Wood Clear Graphics, Randolph, Nebraska. It's just a really adorable boy and girl holding a Christmas tree. They've got a lot of character, don't they? And another image here is this wonderful snowman. A friend gave this to me. It's an unmounted stamp, and I think it's a really wonderful Kris Kringle. It looks like he's ready to plant this Christmas tree because he's got his shovel. So I wanted to experiment with that image. And then for this page, I've got another Craft Smart stamp. It is a fox with a present. This could be a birthday image as well, but I'm considering him a Christmas image. And then a little story on this stamp. It is from a thrift store. It says Mostly Animals, Oakdale, California. Felipe Navidad is the name of this stamped image. And I just wanted to, before I show you my storage, I want to show an example of something. So he's an awesome image. He was a thrifted stamp. He doesn't stamp fantastically, but I think his image is just absolutely fantastic. So I've stamped him off the best I can. Now I will add details when I color them. Like I'll color in his eyes so that his eyes are nice, crisp, and clear. And when I add color, the image will start to fill in. But there is a fatal flaw in this stamp. It's got a divot in the rubber, and it comes out looking like this when you stamp it off. The reason I'm spending time telling you about this, it's a thrifted stamp, and I'm pretty sure what happened is it was stored just piled up. Just, you know, people throw their stamps in a bin and they pile up. And if you're not careful, what'll happen is a wood stamp will get in there and get stored, and then the weight gets on there and it puts a divot in your stamp. And we want to avoid that because it ruins the images. And this stamp, I love it and I will continue to use it despite its flaw. But the way you store your stamps can prevent this from happening. So let's look at how I store these stamps. We'll put them away now and I can kind of show you how I do it. What I do is I use a photo box, and if you wait for them to go on sale, they're $1 or $2 a piece. I put a label here so that I know that the stamps included are in a certain theme. And then the reason I like these boxes is because they have a flat bottom and you can store your stamps so that they are either rubber down or rubber to rubber. So for example, let's put these stamps that I've been using away. For the next layer, I've got the rubber down, but for the next layer, I'll put the rubber up. And what that prevents is from a stamp, if I put them rubber down, there's a chance that image will get pressed into one of the corners here, and it'll make a flaw in the stamp, like on Mr. Froggy here. So to avoid that, I store them wood to wood, rubber to rubber. And that way we avoid that damage. So you can see here, I put rubber side up and then I'm putting rubber side down. And I've never had a problem with my images getting damaged. This was damaged before I got it. And this is a behind the scenes tip from me to you. Let me know what you think of how I store my stamps. If you store your stamps differently, I would love to hear how you do it, because I'm always looking for, more information and tips and tricks to do things differently. Be sure to check out all the other channels who are creating for Stamping Sunday. And if you're still watching, I will point you to a link to last week's Stampin' Sunday video. For some reason, it kind of got hidden on YouTube, and it doesn't have very many views, so you may not have seen it yet. I just wanted to call that out in case you want more stamping fun. In this video, I used Dollar Tree supplies, and it's a lot of fun to create on a budget, and I hope you'll enjoy that video. Keep on scrapping and paper crafting.